Novia Faradilla Basmalah, student ID number 190321110041. I am from Madura University, Faculty of Agriculture Agribusiness Study Program. At this time, I want to explain a little about the material of law and business ethics, along with examples of case studies in a company. So just get to the discussion and don't forget to watch until the end. Okay, and in slide 1, I want to explain about definition and understanding of business ethics. Business ethics are methods of conducting business activities covering all aspects relating to individuals, companies, industries, and also society. All of this includes how we conduct business fairly in accordance with applicable laws and do not depend on the position of individuals or companies in society. Principle of business ethics. In business ethics, there are principles that should be followed by business people. According to Sony Keraf, these principles include: number 1, the principle of autonomy, namely the ability to make decisions and act on the basis of awareness of what is right to be done and to be morally responsible for the decision taken. Number 2, the principle of honesty. A business will not last long if it is not based on honesty, because honesty is the key to the success of a business. For example, honesty in contract execution, honesty with consumers, honesty in work relationship, and others. Number 3, the principle of justice, that every person in doing business must receive treatment in accordance with their respective rights, meaning that no one may be deprived. Number 4, the principle of mutual benefit, so that all parties strive for mutual benefit as well as to conduct competitive business. And number 5, the principle of moral integrity. This principle is the basis of doing business, where business people in carrying out their business must maintain the good name of the company so that it remains trusted and is the best company. There is the application of business ethics. The implementation of the principle of business ethics in Indonesia still faces several problems and obstacles. Keraf 1993, number 81 to 83, mentions some of these obstacles, namely: number 1, the moral standards of business actors are generally weak. Number 2, many companies experience conflict of interest. Number 3, unstable political and economic situation. Number 4, weak law enforcement. And number 5, there is no business and management professional organization to enforce the code of ethics for business and management. Business ethics models. Here are some business ethics models, including: number 1, immoral management. Immoral management is the lowest level of the management model in applying the principle of business ethics. Number 2, immoral management. There are two other types of immoral type management, namely: first, managers who do not intentionally commit immoral, or unintentional moral manager. And number 3, moral management. The highest level is management moral. In moral management, ethical values and morality are pledged at the highest standard level of all forms of business behavior and activities. Ethics in the business environment. In conducting business activities, an entrepreneur needs a good behavior that will cause the business to be well known to the public. These things include: be honest, be mature, behave well, wear neat clothes, state the name, use good language, be polite, stand up when you meet, and don't forget always say thank you. Knowledge of ethics ethical values. Number 1. Religion. Within religion, it has been taught how we, as humans who consist of various religions, can interact well or can be said to be tolerant. Number 2. Philosophy. This philosophical teaching stems from teachings inherited from teachings that have been taught and developed more than 2000 years ago. Number 3. Culture. Every culture transition between one generation to the next embodies values, meaning that people will try to get closer to themselves or adapt to the development of values that exist in the community. Where those values are not other than the culture that is present because of the culture of human knowledge in the community. His effort to interpret the environment so that he can live. And number 4, law. Law is a set of rulers made by the government in order to ensure the survival of the nation and state. The following is an example of a case study at the company PT Pandawa Polysindo Perkasa. PT Pandawa Polysindo Perkasa is a company that produces plastic bags with various brands, which was founded in 1990. This company was founded by Hans Koswanto, who is the fifth child of Mrs. Lilianawati and Mr. Films. Hans Koswanto founded this plastic company when he was 30 years old. Eventually, the company also sold plastic pellets in 1980. At the time, the plastic pellets that Mr. Hans was selling were plastic pellets from plastic wash, which were crushed by a cutting machine so that they become small plastic pellets that were ready to be recycled. Besides being cheap, recycled plastic pellets are also easier to obtain considering the abundance of plastic waste that exists in the community. The products offered by Mr. Hans hardly received a positive response from several regions. Then, about 3 years later, the plastic pellets product received a response from the community for about 5 years, so that over time the leader had an idea to produce plastic pellets himself, which were then processed into plastic bags. PT Pandawa Polysindo Perkasa is a company that has a vision to become a plastic company that serves professionally. The company's mission is to achieve its vision, namely: Number 1, care from customers. Number 2, care for workers. Number 3, maintain good relationship with suppliers. And number 4, work with clean and honest goals. The behavior of PT Pandawa leaders in relation to employees. PT Pandawa Polysindo Perkasa in relation to employees uses deontological ethics. Where employees get their rights, both for salary and benefits, without any differences between employees. The company also does not establish a policy that is related to a decrease in employee wage, even though the turnover from the company has decreased significantly. And in the conclusion from the fact of the company PT Pandawa Polysindo Perkasa, namely the leader of PT Pandawa Polysindo Perkasa is a company leader who adheres to the utilitarian ethic of dealing with customers. This is evident from the result of interviews with leaders, company employees, and company regular customers, which are clearly reflected in the mindset and behavior of the leaders of PT Pandawa Polysindo Perkasa, who prioritize personal satisfaction in the sense of prioritizing the majority of customers to get more benefit from these customers. Leaders do things that are not fair in doing business, because because leaders think only of profit and loss so that minority customers are sacrificed. In the result of this study, the researchers saw that the mindset and behavior of the leaders obtained were contrary to the principle of deontology, where deontological ethics teaches us all not to differentiate between customers, whether majority or minority, must be served wholeheartedly. This will make minority customers feel unfair with the attitude and behavior of leaders because minority customers will definitely feel excluded due to the presence of the rulers, namely the majority customers. The presentation on material business and principal ethics. I hope materials is useful for all of you, and thank you for taking the time to watch my video in this time. And don't forget like, comment, and subscribe my channel. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.